Now, you know, Americans produce a lot of trash. How much trash, you ask? Well, about 243 million tons a year. That's just under 4.5 pounds a day per person. My next guest has turned waste into an opportunity, and a green one at that. Bill Massa is the president and chief executive of Synagro Technologies. Synagro is one of the largest waste management companies in the United States. It's a leader in converting waste into renewable energy and goods. Bill, good to have you with us on Bloomberg. For those that don't know a lot about Synagro, tell us exactly what the company does and its relationship with municipal waste, the waste that gets picked up with the garbage.
Sure, Pimm. I really appreciate you having me in today. It's terrific. So, Synagro is a company that works with waste residuals from industrial and municipal customers. We do everything from cleaning out 2 million gallon sludge storage tanks holding 27-year-old sludge, which I did on Undercover Boss a couple weeks ago, all the way up to designing, building, owning, and operating $100 million state-of-the-art waste-to-energy facilities. We're in about 34 states, from New England to Florida to California to Honolulu even. So we do a lot of different things.
Now, after you do the lagoon cleanup, the dewatering, for example, what do you do with the waste?
Oh, that's a great question. You know, a lot of different municipalities handle it differently. In the old days, some of that material used to go out into rivers and streams and the ocean. Some of the more modern way of thinking about it is to treat that material, dewater it, and then take that dried biosolids and use it either for fertilizer or for generating green energy. And we do both of those things.
Well, what about using the materials for, let's say, construction or for things that go into making other things? Is that also part of the mix?
No. It's really it's an excellent fuel source and an excellent source of nutrients as fertilizer. So we can do everything from generating electricity and steam, running a small town, running an industrial complex, or alternatively use it to fertilize farm fields.
Now, what about the energy that's required to make all this happen? How energy intensive is it?
Great question. These facilities, if designed properly and operated properly, can be virtually self-sufficient. In fact, generate excess energy that can be returned to the communities in which they operate. Drying biosolids is generally an energy-intensive process, but it also creates a lot of energy onto itself. So we can actually be a net provider of energy to the community.
Now, how do you actually get the waste to the facilities? I mean, do you have a network of transportation? May there be rail cars, for example? How do you move it around?
It happens a lot of different ways, but generally in the larger cities like New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, many other places that we operate, there are some centralized collection facilities that pipe all the sewage into those facilities where it's treated and cleaned up, and eventually it winds up into our part of the operation where we'll dry it and then generate fertilizer or green energy or a number of other things.
Now, Synagro used to be a publicly traded company. It's now owned by private equity investors, correct?
That's right. About 4 years ago, Carlyle purchased Synagro. It was a public company at the time. It's been a private company for 4 years now. The company itself has been around for about 30 years, though.
And how's the business doing? You making any money?
We are. It's a good business, a good place to be. You know, in this time and date where tight municipal budgets and the focus on renewable energy and recycling and cost savings, we can both save money for municipalities and our customers, as well as we're a nicely profitable company.
Now, Bill, how did you get into this business? I mean, I know that you've got a background in the chemicals industry, but how do you get into this whole business of recycling and turning waste into viable products?
Sure. I was in the chemical industry about 15 years. I had a really good job. One day I got a phone call from a recruiter about going into the environmental side, and I thought that was kind of strange. But as my sister-in-law said, I went from being a polluter to being an environmentalist. I spent 15 years polluting the earth. I can spend the next 15 cleaning it up, in her mind. And it's been a great thing for me. I really enjoy it. I really have a passion for sustainability and recycling. It's something that I live and breathe, and there's tremendous money in it, frankly, and it's good for our environment and good for my kids and grandkids.
What did you learn from doing Undercover Boss? That must have been a dirty job.
Oh my gosh! You know, they didn't have me operating in our state-of-the-art facilities and control rooms, just pushing buttons and sort of stuff. No, they had me out cleaning out a 2 million gallon sludge storage tank that had 27 years of sludge in it. Had to get in, and it was quite an experience.
We're going to leave it there. I know you took a shower afterwards. I want to thank you very much, Bill Massa from Synagro.